Kia ora e te whānau and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Georgie. I like to make content about lifestyle, veganism, budget friendliness, and my dog, and other stuff. If you do hit my channel and you go in and you explore, you'll notice there's not many videos there. That's because I'm still very new here, but I will be sticking around and I'll be uploading new videos every single Monday, so come check me out. For today's video, I have a week of budget-friendly vegan dinners. Now, this did take me 2 weeks to create because I'm not a culinary genius and I tried to make things up on the spot. It didn't go so well, but that's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. We got over the hurdle and we kept going. Just a little disclaimer. Today's video does have a lot of carbs in it because I wanted to make it as interesting as possible for you guys, and if it was up to me, I'd just be having steamed vegetables every day because I love them, and I know that's really strange. So I didn't make a video about what I ate or would eat on a budget. I made it about what you could eat on a budget, and I ate it and it was great. I'm not gonna lie, it was great. If you struggle with gluten or you're not a carby person, I will provide substitutes throughout, but just know that any vegetable can kind of substitute the carbs of a meal. I know it makes it a little less exciting, but if you can't have it, you can't have it. Don't stress your body out like that. If you are interested in a healthier week of budget-friendly dinners, or a week of what I eat, or an easy week of eating, or an expensive week of eating, let me know because I loved this and I would be so happy to create more videos like this. So please, hit me up. I'll do it. I'll do it. Just for you guys. Let's get into it. For this first recipe, I'm making a creamy mushroom pasta. Everyone knows how to cook pasta, so I'm not going to explain that. But one thing I just wanted to say is if you don't want to have gluten or you're trying to avoid carbs, you don't need to use the pasta for this recipe. You can just add more steamed greens and put the creamy sauce and mushrooms or other vegetables on top with the creamy sauce, and it will still be very tasty. Another alteration of this is adding some spinach into the creamy sauce instead of the broccoli on the side, or as well as the broccoli on the side. One hot tip I got from the Happy Pear is to cook the mushrooms and the onions in a stock if you don't want to use oil, and the mushrooms will soak up the stock and add extra flavour to the meal. This one was a very, very great dish and I definitely recommend. My second hack for this video is buying dried beans. They're a great way to reduce your waste overall. They're really budget friendly, and it does take a little bit of effort to cook and prepare them, but if you do it in bulk, you're able to freeze them for large amounts and take them out as you need them. You can use black beans in so many different ways, and it's a really great way as a vegan or someone on a plant-based or vegetarian diet to get some good protein in. I've used a homemade potato chip, but you can buy your own chips at the supermarket, or you can just make a nice nacho bowl instead of having any chips at all. For this recipe, I have added a lot of different things, and that might be overwhelming to some people. I personally like having salsa, guacamole, and a nice sour cream on top. It is not necessary, it's just a really good way to add heaps of nutrients to a very simple, delicious dish. For this stir-fry recipe, you don't have to use noodles. I've used udon noodles. You could use soba noodles because they're made out of buckwheat, I believe, or you could use brown rice pasta, or you could just have stir-fried veggies in a bowl. They are delicious by themselves. For this very, very simple stir fry, it is not necessary to use the vegetables that I've used. You can swap them out for almost anything and it will work. Stir fries are a really great budget-friendly way to cook and a really great way to just get rid of the veggies that you have left in your fridge at the end of the week. Definitely recommend adding this to your weekly meals. recipe from the Edgy Veg. She will be linked in the description box down below. This particular recipe didn't work for me because I am impatient when frying food, and also once I decided to bake it, it was too late and it didn't go very well. But it is a very easy recipe to follow, and I recommend following along with her recipe. This one is budget friendly, but only if zucchinis or courgettes are in season. You can use carrots, which are generally always very inexpensive, or other vegetables similar to those. And it's just a really great way to cook a simple vegetable differently. This one is the money saver. I am making rice paper rolls. Now, we have rice paper rolls at least once a week. They are the cheapest, easiest dinners to make, and they're great for lunch or brunch or dinner. You can use almost any vegetable in these and it will be amazing. I like to add avocado and hoisin sauce as my things that make it better, but some fresh herbs or a good dipping sauce can really make it what is amazing. They are so simple, so cheap, and so quick, and a really great kind of connecting thing. If you have a flat of people or you want to eat with your family, this is a great meal. You can add what you want to it yourself because you make it as you go. They're just amazing. You should definitely try these out. If you take anything away from this video, this is it. It's also just a great way to get lots of raw, healthy nutrients into you. Get on board. Next recipe, I've just used the beans that I cooked earlier in the video because I put them aside and froze them. I made my own chips, and I kind of made this recipe up as I went. I will try and recreate the recipe in the description box down below. If you're good at cooking, you'll be able to do this better than I did. I got a bit lost and just started adding stuff in to make it thicker. I definitely recommend following a recipe. Most recipes are fairly simple for making veggie patties, and this did end up being really tasty, but I won't be able to give you an exact recipe in the description box because I was kind of all over the place with this, adding bits here and there. I wasn't expecting it to turn out as well as it did, and instead of using burger buns for this recipe, you can use wraps to use less carbs, or you can make a burger bowl, or you could use an iceberg leaf or lettuce leaf to make the bun of the burger, if you can't have gluten, that is. You may notice that I have vegan cheese in this recipe, and that is not budget friendly. By this point I was craving it. Vegan cheese brings nothing to anybody. It's not that tasty, and it's not that the right cheese consistency. You don't need it in your life. If you're on a budget, please don't envy this. I had just been going for 2 weeks at this point and really fiending. For the next recipe, I've made garlic bread, also unnecessary if you don't want to. I have done garlic Hasselback potatoes before, which also work if you don't want to have the gluten. You will notice that I made my own pesto for this recipe. Basil was really cheap on the day that I bought it. I ran out of the pesto, so we didn't have enough to make the pizza taste good, so I did add vegan cheese to this pizza as well. The reason I ran out is because I made a cauliflower base originally, and that failed, so I had to recreate this recipe with a whole wheat base, which was also very delicious. If you can't have gluten, there are gluten-free bases that you can use, or just, I don't know, maybe avoid pizza. One thing I would say is if you Don't buy vegan cheese, understandably so if you're on a budget. Also, it's just, you know, you don't need it. Add more of the pizza base sauce. It makes it creamier, and I didn't realize how much a marinara sauce can bring to a pizza until I did this. Never thought I could have pizza without cheese until I added more marinara sauce, and it changed my life. So that's my little hack for the pizza section. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you would like to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, give me a big thumbs up, and comment down below if you'll be recreating any of these. I'd love to know, and if you do, you can tag me on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, if you miss me throughout the week, don't forget to come follow me on Instagram because I upload there much more frequently. But I'll see you next Monday.